Yes, tree planting can matter in the right context, and restoration matters. But if the system driving forest loss remains broadly the same, then small positive actions can end up functioning more like moral decoration than real change. What matters most is whether the destruction slows, whether intact forests are protected, whether degraded land is restored properly, and whether the economic logic pushing deforestation is actually challenged. And that's a harder conversation, but it's also the honest one. So that brings me back to the question. What's the real cost of deforestation? It's the biodiversity that is fragmented or lost. It's the water systems that are disrupted. It's the soil that becomes more vulnerable. It's the landscapes that become less resilient to fire, heat, and further degradation. And in many places, it's the communities whose stability depends on those systems to function. So yes, deforestation is about trees, but only in the most superficial sense. In reality, it's also about climate, habitat, water, land, resilience, and power. And that's why it deserves to be understood as something larger than a familial environmental cliche, because once you really look at what forests do and what happens when they're lost, the phrase deforestation starts to feel almost too small for the damage it describes. And despite decades of awareness, that damage is still unfolding at enormous scale. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching.